In Sinners, the story unfolds as a haunting parable, not about death in the literal sense, but about the quiet disappearances that occur when we leave behind everything we know in pursuit of our dreams. At its core, the film is not about ghosts and vampires. It's about memory, loss, and the emotional cost of becoming someone new. Summoning the idea of separation. When Sam first plays music, he doesn't just perform, he summons. His playing awakens something spiritual and disruptive, like he's opening a portal not just to another realm, but to another life. The music doesn't bring literal spirits. It summons the idea of separation. It pulls the future into the present, revealing the invisible lines that will divide his old life from his new one. In that moment, Sam begins to understand that finding a path forward means grieving the one behind. Best day. Worst day. Sam's fight with his cousin captures the emotional paradox of self-discovery. He calls it the best day of his life, because he found his music, his calling, but also the worst, because it was the day he began to lose his cousin. The argument isn't about notes and rhythm, it's about fear of abandonment. His cousin senses, maybe before Sam does, that music won't just be something Sam plays, it will be the thing that takes him away. Smoke and Stack. Dual reflections. Later in the film, Sam doesn't see his cousin as a ghostly double, but as two distinct figures, Smoke and Stack. Though they look alike, they represent different emotional truths. Smoke gathers people, organizes energy, and symbolizes adventure and outward movement. The cousin who encourages Sam to go after something greater. Stack, on the other hand, is introspective and receptive. When Sam plays music for him in the car and Stack loves it, he represents the validation Sam longs for, the emotional grounding and deep connection to someone who truly understands. These aren't ghosts. They're not even just characters. Smoke and Stack are refractions of memory, split versions of Sam's cousin that reflect the tension between leaving and belonging. Together, they form the emotional landscape of Sam's loss. Family that dies, and family that stays throughout the film. People in Sam's life seem to die as he moves further into his musical journey. But these deaths are not physical, they're emotional and spiritual disconnections. His cousin, his town, even his community fade from view. But when he returns to the church, his father is still there. That moment is key. It suggests that while friends and places may vanish in the fog of change, family, especially spiritual or internal family, remains within you. His father's presence is grounding, a symbol that not all connections are severed when you leave. Some remain as part of your moral compass, your root system. Vampires as industry. Perhaps the most striking metaphor is the use of blood-sucking vampires, figures who are seduced by Sam's music and say, "We want Sam." These creatures don't just represent generic evil. They symbolize the exploitative forces of the music industry. Vampires feed on passion, youth, and beauty. The industry feeds on raw talent, especially from marginalized communities. These vampires, wealthy and powerful, mirror real-world industry figures who profit from art they didn't create, often draining every last drop from the artist's soul. They don't want Sam as a person. They want what he can offer: the sound, the story, the magic. They kill his people by separating him from them, by seducing him into a world where fame replaces community and money replaces meaning. A cautionary myth, Sinners, becomes more than a ghost story. It's a cultural allegory. It warns of what happens when you chase something bigger than yourself without realizing what you'll have to give up. It's about how fame doesn't always kill you. It makes you unrecognizable to those who loved you. Final reflection: in the end, Sinners is a beautifully painful story about growth, grief, and the price of passion. It is a coming-of-age story. It speaks to artists, dreamers, and anyone who's ever had to choose between the familiar warmth of home and the lonely road of purpose. It asks, how much are you willing to lose to become who you're meant to be? And more importantly, will what's left of you be enough to carry the music forward?